Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Momin, and today I'm doing a little bit of a different setting. I'm sitting on the floor in my room. I thought I would put my plants in the background because I just love indoor plants, I think, and they really give life to a room, literally, and it just makes it look really nice and fresh. And I thought it would be a good visual for the video as well, a little bit, just to have some leaves in the background. There are some dry flowers in this little um, vase. There's this bowl that I got from Turkey, and those are old perfume bottles where in which I put some plants. And this again, this is something that I think I've always wanted to do, but I've only been able to do it once I got past my anxiety because I didn't have to worry about contamination and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm glad to spruce up my room a little bit like this. But before I go on, please subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. Let me know if you like this, if you like the plants, if you like what I have to talk about, and just I'd love to hear your feedback on this. Um, I this won't be a very advice heavy video, to be honest. I just want to do like a before and after video, in the sense like before recovering what my life looked like in certain departments of my life and what my life looks like after recovery. And it's kind of like a life update on, hey, this is what's happening in my life right now. Sounds like vanity, but no, I'm just trying to show and demonstrate what life could look like for you as well after you recover, and which you hopefully will very soon, if you keep working on recovery. So I just wanted to highlight what was my routine like today. For example, I had a really good day, and I think today was one of those days where I thought, oh wow, I think I have this together. I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. And it's strange to say that I'm recovered, in the sense that, number one, I never thought I would ever recover. I thought, okay, this permanently crippling anxiety is going to be my life forever, and maybe I should just like stop fighting it and just let it be and just accept that this is how things are going to be and it's never going to change. And secondly, also because um, I just I just never thought that I would finally be able to feel the way I used to, in a way. It's also just I don't like labeling myself in that sense that, oh, I'm recovered. It's just like, I don't know. I mean, it's just I find it strange. I just feel great. I just know that, and I mean, technically, I guess I have recovered because I haven't had setbacks in many months. I haven't experienced any crippling fear or anxiety in a very long time. I haven't done compulsions in a very long time. Like, none of that stuff has happened. In quite a while now. I guess I can say that I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. So hey, I'm here. So let me just highlight. So I've listed down like six things that I was heavily avoiding or not doing, or how I was feeling before recovery, and I will just give you a contrast of how things were and how things are now, in that sense. So I think the first thing that I want to talk about is driving. I had stopped driving. The last time I drove was like 5 years ago, basically. And I wasn't a very regular driver, but I had started to slowly get into the groove of driving in a way. And I left it because, firstly, I had massive contamination fears, and I thought that the driving seat and the steering wheel are not, clean according to how I want them to be, and therefore I just kind of stopped driving, like, completely. And secondly, I didn't have like harm OCD or something, but I think I for sure had low self esteem, and I definitely had a lot of chronic guilt and shame that I used to carry with me all the time. So I did hit my car a couple of times here and there, nothing serious, thankfully, but I still like maybe scratched someone else's car by mistake or like something like that, and it just made me feel so terrible. And I just thought that, Oh God, I mean, maybe driving isn't meant for me. Maybe I will spend the rest of my life either having a driver drive me around or like just sitting in Ubers and going around here and there. So I just kind of, with all of that, and I was just going through like really terrible shit anxiety anyway. So I just thought, hey, you know what? Let's just like leave this. I'm not going to do this anymore. So for 5 years, I did not drive at all. And I thought, okay, I can't do this. So now 5 years later, I am driving again. So about 2 weeks ago, I started to polish my skills up again. I started to drive a little bit again. I'm still not, I still go with someone to drive. I don't go alone because I don't feel as confident yet. I think I still need to practice a little bit more with some things, but I have started to drive again, and I feel okay. I don't feel scared anymore, and I feel, and even if I do end up like having some kind of minor accident or something like that, which I'm sure will happen at some point because everybody does. Um, I'm I'm not going to let it weigh on me to the point of like making me stop driving now. So I have something back in my life from like many years ago when I was suffering from OCD, and I feel okay with it. I mean, there is obviously nervousness attached to it. There is that kind of, oh my god, I don't want to like hit someone, and there have been moments where it's been like and I get scared when on a relatively narrow road I'm driving and then the car is coming from the front and I'm like, okay, so how is this going to work? So again, there's that anxiety there, which I mean, obviously every human experiences. But as an OCD sufferer who used to at least think in very black and white terms and very rigidly and was very very hard on myself, I feel great. I feel okay, and I have a great handle on things. I mean, I feel scared but I still keep driving on, and I'm not like, okay, I just want to go home. The second thing that I abandoned 5 years ago was the gym. I stopped going to the gym. I mean, I went to the gym for like 4 5 months. I wasn't that consistent. I also didn't like it very much. I wasn't motivated, and it was just like, why am I even doing this? I didn't take it seriously. I didn't take myself seriously as a gym goer anyway. Um, so I just got very demotivated. I just thought, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore. I just want to live my life. Who wants to go to the gym? Who? So I stopped. Um, 5 years later now, just this week, I have started going to the gym again. So right now, all my like upper body especially is just like cramped right now. Because I mean, I had, especially after COVID, I had no exercise, I had no movement, like no kind of healthy movement in my life. So I just thought it would be like a really good life choice, health wise, to join the gym and start working out because I can feel it in my bones that I need that kind of exertion. I need that kind of movement. And so far, it feels okay. I mean, it's not something, at least so far, I'm not into the gym right now, at least I would say. I mean, I don't wake up thinking, yes, I'm going to go to the gym. This is going to be the best time of my life. But I still go. I'm not, I don't catastrophize the boringness of gym in my head because I used to do that a lot. I used to think, oh my god, it's so boring. I mean, who wants to like go to the gym? I just don't want to do this anymore. But it's not that anymore. I just and like when I'm doing cardio a little bit just for like warm up, I find that a terribly boring, you know, exercise. But I I I I make sure I complete it. So it's not a catastrophe in my head. I don't avoid it. I don't run away from it. I don't make excuses. I'm not cutting corners. So that's huge progress for me because knowing myself, I was a chronic comfort kind of guy. And I used to cut corners, especially with something like the gym, quite a lot. So I stopped doing that. And so far, it's going good. I hope it keeps going well. I am consistent. And related to this is my third point, which is eating. So again, I'm not skinny because I don't eat well. It's kind of part of my genes as well. My siblings were quite skinny in their mid 20s as well, and now they've gained weight. I assume I will be pretty much the same. My mother was the same as well. Some of my uncles have been the same. So just clarifying that it wasn't like it's not related to anxiety that way. Um, but I just didn't eat very well, in the sense I wasn't eating consistently, I wasn't eating healthy, I wasn't eating great things. I was just like, passing the time. Sorry, I'm just like moving the camera a little bit. Um, but now, especially because of the gym as well, and also because I want to like adopt a more healthy lifestyle, and be a little more health conscious, because I think I should start taking care of my body a little bit more. I have started to eat better. I've started to do that without I so this is important for me to point out over here, is because I have had like a massive fear of throwing up in the past. And so I used to, even though I used to eat fine, I still was in some way scared of food in a way. So that has gone down, and now I'm able to like eat without feeling some kind of crippling fear that, oh my god, if I start feeling nauseous, and what if I throw up in front of people? That would be so embarrassing. What if I, fall, get sick like in front of other people in public? It would be embarrassing. That doesn't happen. Which, by the way, going back to the gym point, on my first day at the gym, I think I did not give enough of a significant gap between my breakfast and the gym. So I did end up feeling very nauseous, and I also in that moment kind of had a panic attack as well, which I've not had like in a very long time. So however, I did not, and because I was working out in front of like other people, which is, I feel like, kind of like a vulnerable position in some ways as well. Um, so, and it's a very different kind of setting for someone like me as well. And there were so many things that I was just associating with the gym from my past experience as well, which was kind of not that great. It was a bit mixed. So all of that combined, and not giving that much of a gap with breakfast and all of that, it kind of blew up in that moment for a few minutes. But again, the difference is that in the past, I would have, the next day I would not have gone to the gym. I would have avoided it. I would have just made excuses and not liked it at all. But the next day I went at the same time. I worked out. I felt okay. I ate the same as well. So I didn't make any changes in my life based on one uncomfortable morning at the gym. So that's great. That's progress for me. Yeah, my track record when suffering from OCD was not great. Um, Number four is making art. So that's something that I just do as a like hobby by myself. I don't like post it really anywhere or share it or sell it or anything. It's just something I like doing for myself. And so I've struggled with this a lot, because with any art form, whether it's like drawing or whether it's writing something, it's just been like a huge struggle for me, because I would wait for like the perfect moment of motivation and the perfect moment of creativity to start working. I just recently did a post on the OCD Recovery Instagram page as well, and that article is also uploaded on our website. It's called The Struggle for Productivity. That was basically me throughout my years of suffering. I was also emotionally very numb throughout my journey, because my brain was so fatigued all the time. Emotionally I was fatigued all the time. Physically I was fatigued all the time, that I stopped doing things that I like doing, such as making art, or like watching movies, listening to albums, um, like anything creative that I like doing. It was just to the bare minimum in my life. So now I just recently started. I have started to draw again, on and off, even if it's oh, and with art, basically I put a lot of pressure on myself that, oh, this is not as good as that artist, or this is not as good as like that other person that I know made. And so who's going to look at this, who's going to even like it? This is not great. I'm not going to be great at it. This isn't something special, but it's just a random doodle. I like making random doodles and just random designs that pop in my head. Let me show you a couple of my older ones as well. I mean, yeah, just random stuff like this. Nothing, you know, special, but it's just something I enjoy. It's just something I like doing. So, um, I made this as well. There's a poem on this side, but I mean, I don't want to show that. So, yeah, my point is, I've started to take up art again. I've started to draw again. Even if I feel like I'm not making something great, I still do it anyway. Because I like putting like the pen on paper. I like the feel of it. Um, Again, an extension of the same point is watching documentaries. Specifically, I pointed out documentaries because, like with documentaries, it's like, oh my god, I have to sit for an hour and a half or two to absorb information. And that would, again, with my fatigued brain, I used to think, who wants to do that? Some somewhere deep in me, I really wanted to, but then I would also be like, but no, I'm also so tired. I want to, but okay, I'll see. And then like basically the entire day would pass, and I would not do or watch anything at all. So, I started to watch documentaries again. I just downloaded the Sheryl Crow documentary that just came out. So I'm going to watch that soon. And I watched something recently as well, but I've completely forgotten what I've watched. But what I'm saying is that I don't feel like my brain is overloaded or overwhelmed all the time that I cannot, you know, indulge in a good documentary now. So yeah, I started doing that. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was socializing and going out and meeting people. So I heavily started to avoid this because of crippling anxiety and therefore crippling demotivation, because I just thought, no, I just want to stay in my bed. I don't want to go out. I just want to be on my phone or watch something on the laptop. No, I don't want to meet, blah, blah, blah. And I used to make a lot of excuses. I used to just straight up tell my friends, I'm not in the mood today. I'm not feeling great today. I don't want to meet, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm able to catch up with my friends weekly, and meet them, hang out with them, play games, go out for dinner, whatever it is that we feel like doing. And even obviously there are hangouts where I don't feel like going, but I still go because I know that I promised my friend that I would meet them, and I have been putting off like meeting them for a long time. So I feel like okay, I'll go and meet them, but it doesn't feel like, oh my god, I should not be going, or why am I going, why am I doing this to myself. I wouldn't whine and complain about it in my head like I used to, because before this I used to just like incessantly complain about the slightest inconvenience or the slightest thing that did not go according to what I wanted. So yeah, these are the few things that I wanted to touch on that I used to or I stopped doing, and now I have I kind of have them back in my life. And with OCD suffering, and when we think about recovery, it can at times seem like this vague idea of what does recovery mean or what does recovery even feel like. Um, I'll just tell you what I'm experiencing right now, and that is, again, number one, um, no I mean, I won't say no intrusive thoughts, because I mean every human experiences intrusive thoughts, but they just don't. I mean, even if they come, I don't even notice them. Like if they were there at times, because they're just like so fleeting, and they don't create a dent, and they don't stick around, and they don't weigh on me anymore. So basically, the negligible presence of intrusive thoughts, no crippling anxiety all day long, no anxiety related fatigue. I'm able to move around. I don't feel overwhelmed all the time. I'm not emotionally numb anymore. I feel my emotions. I feel sad. I feel happy. I feel frustrated. I feel excited. I feel all those things. And um, yeah, I mean, no compulsions, no need to ask reassurance or confess anything, or um, even demotivation, which was my biggest vice, by the way. um, I don't feel demotivated. I haven't felt demotivated in a very long time. Fingers crossed. Knock on wood. Um, I haven't felt that. And I think with recovery, we are like, oh, I just want to get my old self back. I want to be my old self, and we think that, oh, once we regain our old selves back, then that's it. I mean, we don't have to do anything else, and then life will be just, go at a constant. But I'm a firm believer in the fact that human beings are lifelong learners. We keep learning, we keep growing, and I think even with recovery, even after having recovered, yes, I do feel like these parts, these things that I've just mentioned, these are like, this is kind of like the old me back, but also not really, because it's in a completely new setting. It's after years of experiencing like tons of other things in my life. It's having become a new person, evolving so much as a person, learning so many lessons, having new perspectives and whatnot. Um, so I don't feel like I'm doing these things like I used to. I feel like I'm doing them as who I am now today in this very moment, in that sense. Because human beings never stop changing, we never stop evolving or transforming as people. We think we want to stay stagnant and constant, but or that we maybe have we think that we have achieved staying this one same person, but we haven't really. Even with, I mean, in the last 3 years, I don't think anyone has been the same at all. With COVID, with experiencing COVID around the world, I don't think like any person is the same anymore. Um, and I think so. Not only have I been able to retain old parts of myself, and started doing them again and incorporating them in my life again, but I think this time around I also have a better handle on them, because if I when I was doing all these things before in my life, I was also feeling completely overwhelmed by them as well. I was feeling I was going at a fast pace, my life was out of my control, my schedule was not in my control, and everything was just an absolute mess. um, I just constantly felt like I was burning out. So even though I mean, when I list all these things down, um, I'm doing most of these things every single day these days, but I don't. It's not bringing me down. It's not wearing me out. I don't feel tired. In fact, I would say I want to do a bit more in my life. I want to take out more time for writing like I used to. Aside from writing posts for OCD recovery and the Insta page, but other than that, I want to write stuff for myself. I want to write short stories and poetry, and I want to and I'm in fact in 2 3 months I might take up like a part-time job or something as well, just to have more work, and because I want to do more in life. I want to do like other, there are like personal passions and ventures that I want to contribute in and work on. So I mean, yeah, I feel like I have more mental clarity, because the brain fog that comes with like anxiety suffering, that has kind of passed. I don't have that brain fog. I'm not, my head is not cluttered. It's clear. The clouds have parted. I can see things more clearly. I can think about things more clearly without background noise or like, this kind of absolute chaos in your mind. Um, because again, with OCD suffering, where if you're trying to, let's say, read a book, 80% of your brain is worrying about your crippling anxiety or your crippling fear, or thinking about, did I do that compulsion well enough? Should I do it again? Maybe I should repeat it 5 more times or something like that. Or your intrusive thoughts are like bothering you and draining your energy or taking away your attention, for that matter. My attention span has improved so much. My concentration span has improved so much. I'm able to invest and dedicate time to activities and things that I want to do. There's so much. There's so much more that has been added to my life. Even something like putting little plants in your room. I would not even think of it when I was suffering from OCD, because I was just so preoccupied in my own head and complaining about life and being so run down and bitter and tired that I didn't think of these extra things. The paint on the wall, I just got that done like 3 4 months ago, and it's the first time that I got my room painted according to how I want it. I stopped taking an interest in these things, but I have started doing those again. So yeah, I mean, and that's why I think we say on this channel as well that the recovery journey is the best thing that could happen to you, because you learn and grow so much as a person. You find so much more calmness um, in yourself, and calmness with yourself, in fact. Um, Calmness with your thoughts, with your emotions, the complexity of what goes inside your brain. You feel like you have a better handle over things. It's not that I'm not scared of things anymore. I mean, when I'm out on the road driving, I am scared, obviously, and there are so many things that still scare me in my life. Of course, I mean, it's not that you don't feel fear anymore, or that I don't feel angry over things or like sad about things. The idea is that I'm able to experience my life as a human while having still a handle over the situation, and not feeling like I am drowning or that I am going down in quicksand, because that's what OCD suffering makes you feel like. Um, I'm not just completely phased out for a week or two or a month. Like I said, I mean, I'm able to balance my whatever emotions I'm having. I'm able to balance them out with a practical approach or a more pragmatic handle on things. That okay, I've had this setback in life, not OCD setback, but like I've had this, like something not desirable happen to me. All right, I don't like this. I'm so frustrated about this. um how do I work on this? What lessons can I take from this? How do I apply them to the future? How do I make my situation better with those lessons? How can I try to avoid having that happen again? But even if it does, I'm not going to pin myself to the ground and just curse at myself for making a mistake. So nothing seems like a catastrophe in that sense. Things that used to make me feel like this is a catastrophe, this is a disaster, they don't feel like that anymore, because they are not a disaster, they are not a catastrophe. And yeah, I mean, I just feel good in myself. I think that's just the main part here over here. I just feel good in myself. I feel calm. I feel like a human. I feel like a like regular human being, that is able to just live my life like I want to. Nothing is holding me back, and I'm able to pursue my dreams and my goals and things I want to do. Well, I mean, I wish I would do some things more, but largely speaking, I don't. And again, I do have nervousness and fears and anxieties about things, but the difference now is I don't let them get in the way. I don't let them dictate my everyday behavior and my schedule. I'm still able to do all the things that I want to do without anything, without feeling like I'm carrying the weight of the world. That's the thing. So, yeah, I just wanted to do this before and after by rather than going into an explanation of my feelings, which I can go into in one of my videos as well. But I thought I would just highlight some of the activities that I had kind of abandoned, and how they have come back in my life in a good way. So, and these are the little things that can give you like a really good view into how recovery like feels like, and what it can do for you as a person as well. So yeah, get to recovery work. You can recover as well, and recovery will come to you. Things do get better. It's not a hopeless road. There is hope out there, there is recovery out there, and you can recover as well. So goodbye from my little plants, goodbye from me, and let me know what you think. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.